All right, so list and describe the 7 articles of the Constitution. So we went over this yesterday before I let you work on the structures of the Constitution. I just want to go over a few more notes. Just really 3 slides today. All right. Look who it is. I know. What was it, an exam? I gotcha. So working on the bell ringer. Listen and describe the 7 articles of the Constitution. What was the exam on? What is that? What's period for? Oh, Louisiana Purchase, Thomas Jefferson, huh? So expansion of the United States to the frontier. Oh, that's right. Yeah. All right, so let's go over this real quick. Let's start off with the preamble. What is the preamble? What is it? Jeffrey, do you know?
The preamble is the beginning first part of the Constitution.
The introduction, right? Yeah, good job. So it specifically states the 6 goals of the United States, which you read about yesterday. And with the activity and structure of the Constitution, you are working on, right? Jeffrey, you started working on that activity yesterday?
I wasn't even here, so I don't know.
Oh, really?
I was at Antietam.
Oh, that's right. How do you guys do?
We lost in overtime.
The bus breakdown?
Yes, actually.
Nuh-uh.
It did in the parking lot before we left.
What?
We had to switch onto a new bus. And the second we got off the bus that we were originally on,
Mm-hmm.
it started working.
I would have just canceled the game. Like, yep, I guess we're not playing them. Unbelievable. Wow. Jeez. All right, Article 1, what do we have? What is Article 1 stating? Go ahead, Mark McGuire. Yeah, legislative branch. Good job. So establishing Congress, House of Representatives, the Senate. And again, the founding fathers thought that most power should lie in the legislative branch, which when we checked out the checks and balances, obviously they controlled a lot of kind of the balance of power between executive branch and judicial. All right, good. Good job. Article 2, Madden, executive branch. And what's the executive branch? Oh, the president. Okay, good job. The president. So again, we'll talk about it a little bit more in detail, but the executive branch, obviously the president, for the most part, they can veto legislation from the legislative branch. They can come up with executive orders, right? Executive orders. What's that? Go ahead, Jeffrey.
Executive orders are ordered by the president that are not negotiable to be vetoed by the legislative or judicial branch.
Okay, but it could be deemed unconstitutional in the review of judicial branch, right? Okay, good. Good job. Good job. So there have been many executive orders over the time of these presidents, most of them seeing during, let's say, a depression, especially during the pandemic. Okay, a lot of executive orders being established by presidents during these types of concerning times, right? And during wars as well. Also, the executive branch, we know that is foreign diplomacy. So reaching out and establishing, let's say, diplomacy with other countries. Okay, so maybe peace negotiations, maybe it's establishing alliances, you name it. All right, and then the third article, REM, judicial branch. Good job. The National Court, Supreme Court, and obviously the third branch of the U.S. government. And one of the Enlightenment thinkers, who was it, that came up with the 3 branches of government, that there should be 3 branches, that not one branch becomes too powerful? Who was it? I think, Brock, you had him. Montesquieu. Good job. All right, Article 4. Tanner? It's Article 4. Huh? Okay, so relations amongst the states, right? Okay, good. Good job. So one of the concerns of the Articles of Confederation was that interstate commerce was an issue. That these states might have concerns with others, which when the Articles of Confederation was the government, there's a lot of trade embargoes and acts and tariffs placed on these goods to a point where they acted like their own individual countries. So relations amongst the states had to be solved moving forward. Okay. Yes, there's still concerns with states, okay, as political parties were established, and we all know, we can tell the difference between some red states and blue states and some of these conflicting issues that they might have. And we'll get to next chapter, federalism, how some states, and depending on the national government at the time, could have concerns with one another. All right, so Article 5. What's Article 5? Jeffrey, go ahead, Duke.
Amending the Constitution.
Amending the Constitution, good job. So we'll talk about that more on Friday and how the amendment process works. Okay, we'll talk about the amendments here soon as well. Article 6. Chase?
That's supremacy.
Okay, so for the most part, the Supremacy Clause, right? And what's the Supremacy Clause? I should add that vocab term. I'll add that today. What's the Supremacy Clause? Jamie, do you know? Oh, okay. Tanner.
It establishes the federal constitution and federal law.
Okay, yeah, good job. Good job. So nothing is above the Constitution. And the Constitution, when referring to an issue, we view the Constitution, the Supremacy Clause, that reigns supreme no matter what. So if a state comes up with, let's say, a law that conflicts with it, we view the Constitution. Whatever was said in the Constitution, that's what we go by. Good job. And finally, Article 7. Go ahead, Jeffrey.
Verification.
Ratification. Good job. So passing of the Constitution, which we'll talk a little bit about today. All right, so let me put that in for today too as a vocab term. I only had one, but now we'll make it two. All right, so terms for today, we have ratification and supremacy clause. There you go. We'll talk about an important court case that established the supremacy clause early in America's government. Okay, so let's move on here so I can give you some time to work on your assignment. And I think I have it due for what, Friday, right? Or is it tomorrow? Ooh, it is tomorrow. So like I said, we're gonna have a presenter from UTI come in and tomorrow. So I think Friday is when we will have that due. So we'll go over the structure of the Constitution on Friday. So I'll change that due date. I'll change that. So let's get to it here. Okay, so the articles of the Constitution, as stated, we already went through it several times. Okay, so the signing of the Constitution occurred September 17, 1787. 39 delegates came together to sign the document. So the Constitution It could not become a law of the land until 9 states voted to ratify it or approve it. That was one of the issues with the Articles of Confederation, right? We talked about the veto power, how 9 states had to come together to agree on it. In that case, to totally change the articles, all 13 had to, but you all know, you all knew that was unrealistic. So each state was given 6 months to convene and vote on the proposed constitution. So that being said, we'll get to how, we'll talk about how territories become states. And one of the main things that they need to do is align their constitution with the United States. Okay, yes, they can have differences when you compare different states with each other, the constitution, but for the most part, it has to align with the national government's constitution. That's one of the things that needs to occur if that said territory wants to become a state of the United States. So we'll get into that more next chapter. So the signing occurred, and we talked a little bit about 2 political parties that emerged during the creation of the Constitution. And what were they again? Does anybody remember? What were the names of these 2 parties and their fundamentalist values when signing the Constitution, creating this new form of government? Does anybody remember these 2 political parties? Brock, do you know one of them? Okay, Federalists, good job. And what do they want? Yeah, they wanted a ratification of the Constitution. They wanted a strong central government. Good job. And then we had the Anti-Federalists, right? What's another name for them, Jeffrey? Do you know?
Democratic Republic.
Yeah, Democratic Republicans. Good job. And what did they want essentially?
Stronger state governments.
Yeah, good job. They wanted a stronger state governance. They don't want a central government to become too strong. They didn't want to try to repeat a monarchy here. All right, so the 2 political parties that emerged from this Constitution, this Constitutional Convention, the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists. So the Federalists favored ratification of the Constitution, favored powerful federal government, argued the Bill of Rights was not needed as the federal power is limited. Okay, so we'll refer to the Federalist Papers more next week, okay, and how that was written documents from many main Federalists about the Constitution and creating this new form of government. And one of the concerns was, well, why do we need to insert a Bill of Rights? Because are we going to go through and label every single right that the people have that the government can't take away? That'd be redundant. That'd be crazy, right? This article will be huge and never ending. So they just thought, well, do we really need to state it? We all know main thing is that favored a strong central government. We all know the issues that occurred before with the Whiskey Rebellion and Shays Rebellion. We need to make sure we have a strong central government to put down these revolts, these rebellions against the new found country. Anti-Federalists opposed ratification of the Constitution, wanted a weak central government, and they wanted a Bill of Rights stated specifically in the Constitution. So they came together. Well, we will add a Bill of Rights. That will occur not until the Constitution is already ratified, though. So the Bill of Rights will enter the Constitution, but not until it's already ratified by the states. James Madison drafts 10 amendments to the Constitution, we all know as the Bill of Rights, which with your structure of the Constitution activity, I'm sure you already started those already, the Bill of Rights. We know majority of them already with that citizenship quiz, right? Yeah. All right, so race to ratify, Delaware, first state to ratify the Constitution. Says it on their license plate. So if you ever travel in Delaware, you'll see that on the license plate. PA was second. Oh, close second. And we all know that Rhode Island was the last one to ratify it. They're the last ones. Why? For the most part, they didn't want a strong central government. They're in fear of what that could result in. And they're founded a lot on religious freedoms. Same with PA, but with Pennsylvania, we all know that the central government was needed, essential, to make sure that these rebellions, these revolts were put down. So you don't have to write down every single state here, but for the most part, just know that PA was first, or sorry, Delaware was first, PA was second, and Rhode Island was really the end. All right, another main thing is that, yeah, we didn't have a Bill of Rights just yet. Okay, a Bill of Rights was not yet established when the ratification process was occurring. All right, is there any questions on the Bill of Rights here, the Constitution, okay, the signing of it? You guys good? All right, so the rest of the time you can use to work on your structure of the Constitution. I'll give you that time to do that. I'll leave this up for now so you can copy that down. Oop, sorry.